What do you want from me? I'm just blood and flesh and bones. I'm not an answer.
Welcome to Mildly Entertaining at UNCW, the show where the Office of Military Affairs keeps you mildly entertained and more or less up to date on what's going on at UNCW. Your hosts are Joanna DeMott, the Military Liaison and Program Coordinator, and Melanie Nelson, the Military Student Services Specialist. Hello, Joanna. How are you today?
I'm doing really great. I'm great today. Looking forward to this week. We have Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to that. How are you today, Melanie?
Likewise, looking forward to Thanksgiving and a little bit of time off. Always nice. I wonder what our guest is feeling today, Joanna?
I'm going to find out.
Okay.
I am really happy to introduce Ken Klassen, retired Naval Office aviator with 22 years of service, Military Officers Association of America, MOAA, webmaster, and past president of the chapter. Ken, did I butcher your last name?
No, you got it right. That's good.
How are you today?
Doing well. Looking forward to gathering a little bit of information from your expertise on Zoom to help our chapter out when we do these virtual meetings.
Yes, we are going to do a little deep dive into Zoom after we record our podcast. We thought we'd get warmed up with this wonderful opportunity. It's great to meet you. What is your work situation like now?
I'm retired. After the Navy, I did spend 16 years with the airlines as a captain for a carrier with Delta. And since 2006, we've lived here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Enjoyed your climate and your hospitality, your beaches, your fishing, and the university connections. A lot of things going on that suited us. My wife is from South Carolina, so there was a connection that kind of brought us south with family, etc.
Carolina's awesome. Yeah, fantastic. So as the past president of the MOAA chapter and the webmaster, you are super busy now because things have changed for MOAA, haven't they?
They have. We made the decision in March to go virtual. We had some events with Zoom starting in June and July. And we've done most of our business meetings with our committees and our board of directors also using Zoom. So all of us kind of wading through and muddling through. It's worked pretty well. And we're trying to engage a few of our members. We have about 250 chapter members here in the Wilmington area. We cover 6 counties in southeastern North Carolina. And those are former officers, retired officers, reserve officers, National Guard, etc. And it's very difficult to keep everybody informed. We use newsletters, phone calls, that sort of thing, but the Zooms helped us to pull together at least one activity a month that everyone can chat with each other. We schedule a speaker, have a little bit of information, announcements, etc. So that's what we've done now since April, May timeframe.
Fantastic. Melanie's got some great questions for you. I'm going to turn you right on over.
Okay, so our first question is very, very serious. In this land of Zoom meetings, what are you snacking on these days?
What are we snapping on?
Snacking. What are you eating as snacks?
Oh, well, everybody gets their own coffee cup. We see a lot of those when people are on the, and then they munch on a few things. And we've had some of our board meetings where we've suggested, they bring their own beverages and snacks, peanuts or whatever. So not a lot of participation on the snacking part, but they do enjoy the talking.
Yes. What about in your household in particular? Are there any pandemic snacks that have arisen?
Well, we all love chocolates and we love, trail mix, things like that. And of course, chips and dips. That's always kind of our routine before we have our dinner meal in the evening.
So it's a little pre-dinner snacking. I like that routine. That's a good one. It's like happy hour. We do that on vacation. We have like the pre-dinner snack, but you've just been vacationing all the time. I guess you get to do that when you're retired.
Well, it does give you more discretionary time, so you got to use it wisely, but works out pretty well.
I agree. Snacking is always a wise use of time. Love that. Okay, so shifting gears a little bit, we would like to know, because we work at a university and we have some students who listen to this, can you tell us about your college experience and how it got you to where you are today?
Wanted to go to a liberal arts college, went to Wheaton College in Illinois, got a bachelor in science degree in pre-med. That didn't work out for graduate school, but then I was faced with the lottery system and an option to either join or be drafted with a low lottery number back in 1969. So that got me thinking about what I might be able to find that would be a little more advantageous, and very fortunate to be able to be selected to go to Navy flight school in Pensacola. And so I did that for a year and a half, and then into the fleet after that. Met my wife in Pensacola, and have been married now almost 50 years in next year. So she followed me all over the world, and had most of our time in the East Coast in Norfolk, but we did have some nice assignments in Europe and then also in Washington, D.C.
Very good, very nice. You are not the only naval aviator to meet their spouse in Pensacola, Florida. Let's be clear about that.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, I like how there was just enough intention there to say, well, these are the options, or I can create another option for myself and go in as an officer and build this wonderful career as an aviator.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for telling us about that. Is there anything you particularly remember? So you were originally pre-med and you said that didn't work out. Can you shed some more light on that situation? Because we do have a number of students who come in approaching a bachelor's of science degree or something like that, and then realize that maybe it wasn't what they wanted after all.
Yeah, the competition was really stiff, and my grades weren't quite what they needed to be. It's also a lot of connections, I found out later on, and I did not have those from a very rural area in Northern California where I grew up. So that was a factor in that too. And I could have probably pursued it again for a second year, but another try, but that lottery system did not allow me to remain uncommitted to the military. So I had to make a decision and decided to move forward with something that I knew was a pretty good possibility.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. You know, at some point, doing something is better than just sort of sitting around and letting the winds of change buffet you from one direction to the other. So I think that's perfectly good life advice, frankly, for our students who have gotten in and kind of realized that maybe what they had thought wasn't quite what it was cracked up to be. Maybe that happens to some of our students, and college is a good time to figure out, you know, what the other options are. So thanks for sharing that part of your story. I know sometimes it's awkward to talk about the path that we didn't travel, but then look at the path you did and where it took you all over the world, right? So thanks for sharing about your college experience and how it kind of led through your different careers to where you are now. I'm going to hand you back over to Joanna now.
Great, thank you.
My husband is vacuuming downstairs. I don't think you guys can hear that, but I am not stopping him. If he wants to vacuum, we're going with it. What is your favorite part of working with MOAA, Ken?
I like the interaction, the teamwork. We're all trained in this for careers in our times in the military. The camaraderie is a huge factor. Things happen. You can count on people. The dependability is way above normal in other relationships that you have with community, etc. So I do enjoy that. And we accomplish a little bit. Our mission's good. We're helping veteran students. We're helping other veteran organizations in our area. And then you're connected somewhat with what's going on legislative at the state level, and the priority for MOAA is legislative issues for veterans at the federal level, the DC level. So we maintain very close connections with the staff at headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. And then also we have a state organization called North Carolina Council of Chapters. That's about 15 chapters in the state. So we attend meetings and keep up with what's going on at our other chapters within the state of North Carolina. It's a lot of connections, issues, and just enjoying being able to connect in with people again that have a like mind as we do from our experiences in the military.
That is fantastic. That's just the whole package there. Getting things done, but also enjoying it and having a good time.
Yeah.
That's great. What do you think, if there are any misconceptions about what the organization does?
Yes, there are always questions about that. Normally, when officers are retiring or leaving the service, there's some push and at least a knowledge of what the National Military Officers Association of America is all about. That tends to bring people in through their friends. They hear about that, but there's some hesitancy to sign up with the local chapter because there are so many other organizations, volunteer organizations, and people have to prioritize. So, it's not just retired officers either. It's people like Melanie who have now another career besides their military time, and they have to fit in families and career goals and other things too. So the hesitancy, I think, is just that, hey, what's going to be required of me? How much time? Am I going to be pushed for serving on a committee? That sort of thing. So time and probably effort and maybe some entanglement does tend to cause people to think twice about that, and they hesitate.
Understood. Yeah, anytime you have a volunteer organization, that's always the biggest hurdle. Do you have an interest that you would consider a passion? We've heard of everything from surfing school to golfing. Do you have an interest that you would consider a passion?
Quite a few, I wouldn't say it's a passion, but I certainly enjoy the area here in the southeastern part of the state. The waterways, and the boating, the beaches, the fishing, just the atmosphere of good weather most months out of the year is a big plus. So that and spending time with friends and enjoying connections that way with neighbors, etc. That's where we spend most of our time.
I love it. Yeah, this community is awesome. It's just so many fun things to do, but you can keep a sunny disposition because we have that sunshine a lot of the time. So that's great. Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know? Any upcoming events or changes?
We are going to continue supporting what you all are doing at UNCW. We're also connected with CFCC and Brunswick Community College for veterans there. Those are scholarships, programs that we distribute money, and then like to know what's going on at your institutions of higher learning. So that is always a promotional, and we want to keep that going. It's difficult to do it, as you know better than we do, because of all your students and your connections and your clientele that are scattered around the country and are not seen every day on campus. So we'll keep that as a priority and get through this together.
I know our students, they really do appreciate those scholarships, and we're so grateful for the partnership that MOAA has with the university. Thank you so much for coming on today, Ken.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for joining us today. It's always wonderful to hear about the work that MOAA is doing and to learn a little bit more about different career options and how it can look different for everybody. So thanks for sharing. And this has been an episode of Mildly Entertaining at UNCW, and we will see you on the internet. Thank you for listening to Mildly Entertaining. Our intro music comes from the band Blue Turnip and their song, What Do You Want From Me? You can find their EP Songs from the Root Cellar on Bandcamp, iTunes, Amazon, and Spotify. For more information, you can go to blueturnipmusic.com.